ban on the importation of rice. And I said, as soon as you are to so, you are to a more ye crayfree and manoni eba. The economic importance and effects on our country, Ghana as a country. Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Ediye na minu mienu ya beye. Aban se opese ode som eto sa ne ma no so. Emo ka ho. Ye mwade de nye ne na topic ne ye. Emo na wa wuti fi a wuti eme. Wonim emo dodro a ton sa hodo a wo sa afi bia ye di se oman. Wonim a ye be kire wa ha. Wonim sika twitwiri dua sabe ye kramo ne ba ye tuama ne ko obi manso inyina ye de bremo e wa ha 105.9 precise FM enche mene akuafo akukudam wona wo ye emonho adwuma ebedi nkomo CEO chairman na company limited wona sabi ya mpani fo omo osrem omo bie omo domo kakra machines ahodo omo stock anasa omo baabi a factory esunsun swanso na omo predict about 70% tax on the importation of rice. So the beya e best scare importers sabi obi okrampo na onfa mfa baabi o de befa ama aban na enye kakra die enti ye be ko Mr. Shaibu Brema ho enche ye be ko ne ho na ye bisa no say as a farmer, as a stakeholder, you can rice production, rice business, how far have they fared? Ediye na ekoso mene na edi nkomo back door am wa kan sembebre yene president Concerned Farmers Association of Ghana Farmer General Nana Obo Ade Boatin Bonsu enso betwetwe nkomo ye wia yene Alhaji Musa Abubakar ano ye hwe anim se oba be kan yensa e wo program no so oba ye be ma na kwa aba. Now, before you be first farmer, free north. You know, you nim say aban no e pushi say or there's some and as a restriction. Ebeto importation of rice and I say a kwanya of ye fasukra on my mo about my Ghana mo. Say ye share on na. About 1.4 million tons of rice consumed annually. 1.4 million tons of rice consumed annually. Now, out of which 800,000 tons of rice are imported. 2002, the year under review, 2022, Ghana emwa yedi yeno 1.4 million tons. Now out of the 1.4 million tons, no, 800,000 a year imported. Now say ye amount and say ye cost ya. Ye spending over 560 million US dollars. Afibia awo mo aye crab on my Ghana mo. Just 800,000 tons no po. Into the remaining 600 tons of rice consumption in Ghana no. They are producing 600,000. Chesi kachutri dia ye ma obi. Creating job opportunities ama obi mine. Okay. Manyani ntiese Mr. Shaibu. Mr. Shaibu Brema. Okay. Yes, and then hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Madam.
Yes. Am I speaking with Mr. Shaibu Brema, the CEO
Yes,
of
please.
Chairman Company Limited?
Yes, please.
You are welcome. I hear you can speak the dialect, the Akan, the Chi.
Thank you very much. Yes, please. It's unfortunate I cannot speak Chi.
No problem.
Yeah.
Are you aware of the proposed ban on the importation of rice in Ghana?
Yeah.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me well?
Yeah, I can hear you loud and clearly.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Mhm.
Let me use this opportunity to thank your listeners of your program.
Most grateful.
And I heard and the government proposed to have a restriction of the Ghana and the imported rice into Ghana.
Yes, please.
I think when we heard it, it was a very good news to us.
Okay.
But the question is the implementation and also how preparation Ghana has been able to put in place.
Okay.
Because Ghana has over 800 mills. And out of these 800 mills, Ghana will, those mills will be able to produce and feed the nation and even export it to the neighboring countries. But Ghana government is not paying attention to this, and they are allowing people to import foreign rice into the country. Example, my company alone is producing 290 tons of rice a day.
Wow.
And
Come again, please.
200
and what?
290 tons of rice a day.
Daily production.
That's our capacity. Yeah, that's our capacity. And if you look at Ghana, we are the second largest in Ghana in terms of production.
Yes. I think
we have close to 10,000 male rice packed at the warehouse. We have no market for it. Yet, Ghana is consuming.
Mr. Shaibu, can I please come in? You made mention of 10,000. I didn't hear you clearly.
I said my company has produced over 10,000 tons of rice packed at the warehouse.
Okay.
And as we speak, we don't have market for it.
Wow.
As I told you that we are producing 290 tons a day, it will take us more than 2 months to be able to even sell 10 tons of rice because they don't patronize Ghana rice. And the most painful thing is that there is something that is happening within the borders where the government is not even seeing it, or either they have seen it but they are not paying attention to it. Now we have some particular rice that they are now the Indian rice that is passing through Togo, and they are bringing it through the borders of northern sector to the southern sector. Now they are not paying any dent to the Ghana government.
Okay.
Yet they are bringing in those rice, so we are finding it very difficult to compute with.
Is it? Are you speaking authority that it passes through unapproved routes?
Yes, I'm speaking an authority that is passing through unapproved roads like Zabzubu area, Bumpurbu area, and there are customs around those things. Yet they are not seeing them, or they see them and they pretend they have not seen them, and they are coming into the country. So we those producing locally, we are finding it very difficult to be able to compute with them. So that is what is happening now.
So
now, the last year, I was having 210 fully staffed in my company. But due to the sales of our rice, we have reduced it to 105. So
you're talking about the capacity of your workforce, is that it?
Yeah, my workforce was 210.
210
But
workforce.
as we speak, it's 205. It's 105 because we have laid down some of the workers.
Okay. It means some of them about half of them have been redundant, right?
Yeah.
The figure you gave me,
And it is
210.
due to market challenges that we are facing because we produce, we don't buy. Now,
And you know what's the cost, Mr. Shaibu? Can you what's the cost? Why do you think people are not patronizing the locally made?
We don't get this. In a month, you cannot even sell up to 20,000. And if you are having a workers paying them up to 80,000 Ghana cedis, how will you be able to pay them? So we found it very difficult to be able to continue with the number of workers we are working with. So we had no alternative than to reduce it by half of the distance. And as we speak, farmers are crying because they have produced rice, they have just finished harvesting. It's everywhere in the north. You can verify. They don't have buyers. And farmers keep on calling us. They need money to be able to buy their children's school fees, to school children's things to go back to school. Yet, we cannot buy it because we buy their rice and we don't have market for it. So we found it difficult to also buy the raw material. So now farmers are having the rice, they are not buying it. And we are also having the maize rice, we are not able to sell. So if the government will be able to stand on its feet and restrict this foreign rice, I think
the importation of foreign rice. Okay.
Yes, it will help us very, very well. And I think the economy will have also grown very well.
That's right. GDP growth.
And even the government can decide not to restrict it. Even he can also add tax, import tax to the foreign rice. Okay. Nigeria did it and he was able to succeed. Because if their government is able to add tax to it and they are able to also secure or protect the unapproved roads that they are bringing it through, and they bring it to the country and the foreign rice is expensive, Ghanaians has no alternative but they will send back to the local rice. That is my thought for that.
Okay. Thank you. But don't you also think that it has nothing to do with the deficit? Because per an IDH survey they conducted, about 800,000 tons of metric tons of rice is being imported annually at the expense of the remaining 600,000. Do you think, per what you just said, I wouldn't say it's because of the deficit that people are trying to import, despite the warnings from government and other stakeholders? It's not a deficit, but rather a lack of what? Ready market. Yes. So what is your way forward? Have you collaborated? Have you, make, some effort at reaching those in authority, in quotes, the higher authority, the Ministry of Agric? Because yesterday I had a brief, conversation with you, and you were trying to tell me that you visited, you made so many concerns, your suggestions, your input into, the development of what? The agric sector. You met with the sector minister. What came out of it, sir?
Yes, I think I had a meeting with the Minister of Agric.
Yeah.
The deputy was one we had a meeting with, and subsequently met the sector minister.
Okay.
That's the Minister of Agric.
Yeah, Brian Agyapong.
Now, we were, yes, Agric. Yes, we were of the view that if the government will find a way of blocking the unapproved roads that they are bringing the rice, they are passing through to bring in the foreign rice, then I think it will have helped us. Okay. Even if they are not able to pass the airline, and they are able to even protect
the unapproved routes.
Unapproved roads.
Okay.
That one alone will help us.
Okay.
Now, Minister was asking me that they have heard that a lot of farmers have their rice, they are not getting market. Why are we not buying? And I asked him, well, if we buy the rice, who is going to sell the rice? And who is going to buy the rice? We are also buying the rice. We buy the rice from the farmers. We process the rice. But nobody is buying the rice. So we cannot continue to also buy from the farmers. Last year, for instance, farmers were even selling the rice to, and we were even begging farmers to get their rice to buy because there was a lot of market, there was a lot of demand. We have a shop in Kumasi, we have a shop in Tamale, Accra we have so. People were even depositing money whilst waiting for the rice to come. But this year that is not the case. I sent rice to Kumasi over almost 1 year. Today, a car went to Kumasi to convey all the rice back because it has spoiled. They are not buying the rice.
A whole truck. Hello, Mr. Shabu. Can you please come back?
Yeah. Yes.
You said a whole truck of rice went.
Yes. Went
bad.
Because we didn't buy. They were not buying the rice, and it's been there for over a year. They have to transport it back to Tamale, to the factory because the rice has spoiled. Yet people are patronizing local foreign rice. So if they don't see the foreign rice, it will compel them to go back and buy it. But what came out from the meeting was that the government said, and the minister said they are preparing to buy the rice from the farmers. And I asked the minister, if you are buying the rice from the farmers, what are you going to use the paddy for? He said they are going to store the rice, the paddy, in future, because they learned that there's not enough paddy in the system. If there's a lot of demand, then they will sell the rice back to the miller. And I said, that will not even make sense. Because if you buy the rice and we are not able to sell, how do we also come back to buy the rice from you? And that is not the way to go. So we suggested to the minister that what he needs to do is just to find a way of protecting the unapproved road. Because last year, Nigerians were buying the paddy from us to go back to their country to mill. Now, this year, government is saying they will not allow that. So the Nigerians came in and they sacked them. Now, when they sacked them, we are not also buying. So the farmers are now agitating. So they were saying that the government said, the sector minister said, we will form a task force so that those task force will be able to mount barriers and approve roads.
Okay.
And then if the foreigners are coming and Nigerians are coming in to buy them.
Hello, Mr. Shaibu.
Has not come this year.
Did you? Can I ask a question? Let me ask this question.
Yes.
Did you go there as a force, or you went there as an individual?
No, I went there with the Honorable
Precise FM
Processors Association.
Okay.
So we went there as an association.
Oh, okay.
And I was there with Honorable Addo, the rice expert. He designed the rice in Ghana. He designed the rice this in Ghana. But the people were not taking him to. He took it to Nigeria. Nigeria is able to achieve it, and they are now good. Everybody has now concentrating on the local rice. Whilst Ghana, we are suffering to get to the market because the man who is behind the success of Nigeria rice production is coming from Ghana. So I went with him because he's also
Precise FM.
I went with him, and then he is also a part of the association. And I also went with Yaopoku.
Okay.
He's also having a mail at Guasu. We represented the Rice Processors Association and met the sector minister.
Okay. So yesterday you said you proposed about a 70% tax to be placed on the importation of rice, just to scare the importers, especially those coming from unapproved routes.
Yes.
How far has that gone?
I think they said they will look at it, but the meeting was held on Tuesday.
Okay.
And as we speak, I have not heard from them.
Have you made a follow up, sir?
Yeah, as in this morning, I called the minister, and he said I should give him 10 minutes, he'll get back to me, and up to now he has not gotten back to me. I called the deputy minister and to find out what is the way forward, because it is a big challenge. We are also thinking that when the Christmas is coming, they will quickly act so that we'll be able to make sales for the season. But nothing is happening. Because as I said last year, $1 was $1 is to 14 Citi. We were a lot of people were patronizing Ghana rice, and our rice were not stable because the foreign rice was very expensive, while the Ghana rice was cheap. But this time down, because the dollar is now 12 Citi, and then the government has also left the farmers on their own. It didn't subsidize. There's no subsidy for farmers again. So production cost has been very high. So we are not finding it very difficult to be able to compete.
I had wanted to ask that. So don't you also think that it's because of the difference in price? 5 kilos of rice, foreign rice, and then 5 kilos of local rice. Though when we consider nutritional values, we know our locally produced rice, surpasses that of the foreign in most cases.
Yeah.
But considering the economic situation of people, they will go for the cheaper ones at the expense of the locally produced ones. So what's in Agyapong? What do you also suggest can be done so that the cost of production will be reduced, so that at the end of the day the buyer or the purchaser, when it gets to the market, people will have
I think I
an alternative.
Yes, I mentioned this one countless times in different stations. That what the government needs to do is that there's some other countries, what they do is that they are giving the farmers very intensive opportunities.
Okay.
They are subsidizing the inputs for the farmers.
Okay.
But Ghana, that is not the case. They have left farmers on their own. Now, farmers need to take around 4,000, between 4,000 to 5,000 to be able to produce 1 acre. How will the farmer tell? Cost of production is very high, and because government is not paying attention to it, that's the issue. Because government needs to subsidize farming, this input for farming. 2, rice millers like us. If I tell you that my last bill a month is 45 to 50,000 a month, you will not believe it.
Wow.
We wrote several times to government that they need to also support us by giving us subsidy on the electricity tariff, such that the local producing will be very low. And also, if they are able to subsidize farm inputs for farmers, they will produce at a very low cost. And when they do that, the cost of farming will be very low, and we can now compete with the foreign rice. It is just very simple.
And what has been the feedback? What has been the feedback, sir? What has been the feedback with all the suggestions?
We made a follow-up several times. Different media houses, we said it several times. We met them and we proposed it, but they are not minding us.
So what do you intend to do? Because if it's that bad, why do you keep yourself still in the rice business?
That is the reason why most factories are falling up.
Okay.
Look, we have so many mills in the north that are not producing. Because if they produce, they don't have market for it.
Okay.
As we speak, we are producing from our own farm. Because the farmers, what we buy, we cannot sell. So if the government, they are just simple. The government can subsidize farmers' farm inputs for the farmers to produce low cost. The farmers are also, the government needs money. So the government will also add more tax to the foreign rice. So that what they are bringing in and then clearing the land is becoming very expensive. They will choose to stop, or they will bring it and Ghanaians will not buy. So what will they do? So they are refusing to do all those things. So that is the challenge that we are facing.
So do you think
processors association alone cannot fight this? Except people like the media,
okay,
and they can also team up with us so that we'll be able to cry for the government to
just like Precise FM in Kumasi is doing.
Yeah,
no problem. Do you think should it be implemented finally, the ban on importation of rice?
Yeah.
Are you in agreement with that?
Yeah, I'm totally in agreement with that.